And also, we're going to monitor the lockdown. And from midnight, the lockdown, well, came into force. And from 10 p.m. on Sunday, we brought you live reports of I want to use the phrase, embedded reporter, Gifty Andoapia, the head of our security desk, monitoring the situation of the deployment, speaking to the lockdown deployment. And so we want to give you a sneak peek because comprehensively, that's what we're looking at. Apart from this is the pre-lockdown coverage itself, and then subsequently when the deployment was made, what transpired. Please watch this. When we come back, we'll tell you what we have for you right here on the show.
You need to observe identification properly. The coronavirus is not a joke. So please, it's a serious matter. Don't go and see someone and say it's my friend. If he's not supposed to pass through, the person is not passing through. That's all. If he's exempted, he's exempted. I hope that is clear. Yes, so there is no joke. And you do the job as a policeman by rules and regulations. If you are in doubt, call the JOC. What?
Let's give 99, 99, 99, 99. Adana, let's go!
PPEs will be delivered to your duty points. We'll get a team that will come to your point and deliver PPEs to you.
Minutes to the top of the hour, 1 a.m., the crucial moment that we're all waiting for, and finally, the PPEs have arrived. At least the police officers we're seeing here are wearing their gloves, so their gloves have been provided to them. Some of them have been receiving their masks as well. And so finally, the PPEs required for them to go out have just been provided. So every now and then we hear the police officers giving people warnings. There, he's asking them to move, telling them, so those women have just been told to move. They're asking themselves to move to get ready to get into their homes. So see those young men there running away when they saw the police. But of course, you don't need to run away. It's not 1 a.m. yet. It's dead silent. I've just seen one taxi moving around as well. But I'm hoping to get to see what the destination of this particular team that's supposed to be monitoring Nima will be. Well, there you see one person. So every now and then we hear the police officers giving people warnings. There, he's asking them to move, telling them, so those women have just been told to move. They're asking themselves to move to get ready to get into their homes. So see those young men there running away when they saw the police. But of course, you don't need to run away. So we follow the police officers all through Nima, a mixture of Akan and Hausa, urging everybody to get indoors when it's exactly 1 a.m. We'll be moving to other parts of the city to find out how these directives are being implemented. From the look of things, it is not going to be easy for these men in uniform. We've seen these two police officers cautioning this particular driver and some of the other drivers who have come through, asking them whether they are aware about the restrictions on movement. It's just about 30 minutes or so past 1 a.m. and so they're allowing some of them to go, but they're warning them that there are restrictions on movement if they are not aware. As we've been standing here, we've seen about at least 10 vehicles pass by, but they're saying that they're being human, just as they've been warned to do. They're warning them, advising them, and letting them know that this may be your first time, but this may not be tolerated going forward. This is one of the recalcitrant drivers that you may find. He was being ordered to stop. He just went right through it, did not bother to stop at all, but they managed to get him to stop. Perhaps he saw a camera and decided to stop, and so he's been stopped there, and the police officers are going to have a word with him. Okay.
Let's go.
All right. So we're here at the Ayumensa toll booth. This is one of the places mentioned today earlier, if I should say, at the press conference when the ministers or when governments tried to announce how this lockdown was going to be. Ordinarily, it'll be very busy. Vehicles coming in, vehicles going out. But it's eerily quiet here. And all I'm seeing here are these gentlemen here. A number of vehicles, just about 5 vehicles or so that are stuck. I see here on my right-hand side 3 police officers quietly sitting down. I try to engage them. They just say, we've blocked the road. So there's no going in and no coming out from here. Right behind my camera, I see a set of police officers as well, also observing the rules right there. These gentlemen here have been sharing very interesting stories with me. They just don't understand why they've had to be in this position. But let me try and engage them to find out whether or not they didn't know this was going to happen. So you were telling me your story. You said you were working.
Yeah, we were working somewhere in Darfur, trying to provide. We're providing power. We're solar power. Business based out of Tema, and so we're virtually providing essential service, which is power, to a customer. And then due to the nature of the job, it got a bit hectic, and then we ran into late into the night. We've been doing this for the past 3 days, and so finally we got to go home, and then. Here we are at the back. We do understand that there's a curfew and everything.
But you did know that it was supposed to start social distancing. So you did know it was supposed to start at 1 a.m. Did you know that?
Yes, I did. But you see, for me, my customer is paramount. I cannot leave my customer in darkness.
But we're looking at the virus that is killing people. So your customer may be paramount, but you do also agree that what we're trying to do is to stop the spread of a virus.
I understand that, but also I'm not faulting anybody, but I think that discretion also counts here, because if indeed we are decent folk on our grind, if you know we are working, and so now that we are done, we need to go back to our families, and we can't. I'm not faulting the authorities because it is indeed the law. But I also think that in certain cases like ours, we should be allowed to proceed.
I've just engaged the police officers here. They don't seem to be ready to allow you out. What's going to happen to you now? Do you want to go back? Because you can actually go back this way, where you came from. Is that an option for you right now?
Well, I don't think we really have an option, but we'll see. We're just thinking it through. I really can't say. Do you want to advise then?
No, I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do. I mean, I really feel for you, but this is also very important for us to stop the spread of this virus. So, I don't know. You're going to go back home?
You know where home is?
Where's home?
Home is in Tema. Home is in Tema.
Okay, but it's past 1 a.m. now.
But look, this is the life that we chose. We chose a life where we provide services to all our customers, and we do it to the best of our ability.
What's your name?
My name is Noche Amatefio.
So I've been talking to Noche. Noche and his crew here are stuck at the Ayimensa toll booth. They're not being allowed to go. He doesn't know. He says they're thinking through what to do. This is taxi driver that just pulled up here. Let's see if he would like to talk to us. Hello, what's your name?
Madam, you're gonna need Katrina.
Your friend was saying.
Me.
Your friend was saying.
Your friend, John Kimai.
Now we are done with her by this time.
But you'll be sure me or my dinner until 7 come dinner.
It is say a blocky coin now, bending.
Candy a dozen baby. Me or my dinner there, we been on a wire stranded, there was station, and I'm in dinner by the down far. Until 7 has a meeting, I call back to my dinner, me or my dinner on my FM, Zion Transport Union, and I'm a branch chairman.
So he says his name is Junkie Man. He says he was at Medina and a customer was stranded. So he decided to bring the customer to us this way. But it looks like he's not going to be allowed to go. The road has been totally cut off right now. Asking him what he has to do, he says, well, there's so many other ways that he can get back to Medina. Now when him say 1 a.m., I say 1 a.m., about 1 and if we are neko 1, Obia and Shefi.
Any say almost say about 1. By no, almost 18 news no. Almost catch and say taxi phone no. Yeah, cry taxi phone quite a man comes to trot for in factory. In case of Hunda, never fat 2. Sprinter never factory, actually, sitting on factory no. You never for 2. And I dear factory no so never fat day, ever for 2. Yeah, drivers near union, yes, that transport. I just say for 2 and new one. Intimacy, I'm doing a bit seen down a event say. And I'm saying, I'm in far.
Now, what dream no, and you say, Oka or more, it was almost
government can say bank workers and citizens, remember to come at zero before. Ghana, government service buses be a fire workers. Is it almost a bank in your see how could you score bank? Only private car, you have to take taxi to and go. So
he's saying that it's not clear to him that transport service providers like himself are exempt. He's essentially saying that there are no reliable public transport systems in this country, and so people like himself are relied upon for such movement. So let me just find out from him. And he says, "Obede waka."
Madam Kai, Mimi Ghana, Accra, baby, I say, Omubo Berry, I say, me escape, I meet my escape.
And he says, "Obede."
Who say, "Very ya." Omo Marco Kakurumuna, Omu free baby on my becan, you bet him be on my buffy. As I say, what packy were hay, then I'll be. Naming Kai. See, I'm so many I make shaky reverse. But him quiet route to be by taxi drivers, the only Zakra, you could tell route, and I buy be up by you could tell route. So he's saying that by a boy, I ran home by 7 So he's essentially saying that he knows other routes through which he can get back to wherever he wants to go back. He says if they don't allow him through, he's just going to turn around and he knows where to go. And to be fine. Aye. I mean, can I catch him say, "Oh, Bloco, okay. So I just asked him, what is he going to do? Is he going to tell us the route he's going to use? He says he won't tell us because that will be blocked as well. But if you look right behind me, it looks as if it's getting piled up. The traffic is getting piled up. Now I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 vehicles so far. I see another one coming, and it looks like this is going to be the story for the people who ply this road. Now, let's just take a look at what we have here. Right here behind us is the blockade here. And you see police officers that are just seated quietly and saying nobody will be allowed through this barricade. It looks like the traffic is building up slowly here at the Ayimensa station.
Madam, your person is your offense. Madam, hello, but I confused. At first, that was not what we heard.
Why are you here when it's 1 a.m. when you had the announcement that you should not be out at 1 a.m.?
Me coffee down village. Me cow na onu so government worker. Yeah, inti time am di fee ho ebe se won na kwanu wa na rough road so. Ise me nyanto ba se na me drive.
So he says he went to he's transporting food for his boss and he just got stuck because the time just ran out on him essentially. And to say obeying.
Is ya me meet pediase. Na be ko meeting down kra ho mint me kata me sisi akwa kata me nante kwa mint me because me nim nipa boni for kwan so. Because isi na okochim no komia me kwa we kun. So isi na yesra banse ye pamocho ye ekofie no on hwe na on pe kwama na ye ntisim na ekofie na nkoda because nyambo ochina de yeti mo bi ampie. So
the same sentiment. Drivers here are saying they don't know what to do. They're just stuck here. See, Gifty and Dopia, JoyNews. Amen. Tell yourself.
So is it that you can't move from district to district?
You can't. So for the next 2 weeks, you can't move.
I can't move to
no.
Teshi.
You can't move. You have to be at home. Okay, so there's the first taxi driver going out. It looks like they're excited finally, but they're going to have to do a U-turn and go back. Yes.
That's right.
And you've seen this. So from this report and how the reconnaissance was done, the deployment was done, we're going to take you to the real situation. Daytime, what really is happening? Our citizens, ordinary Ghanaians in Accra, related areas in the central region, just to Accra, just across the Crescent, and then also in Kumasi, where we have Kwesi Deborah, are they observing the lockdown rules, guidelines, or measures? We will bring you up to speed with all this. It is the lockdown, the deployment that took place, and this is the real content we're also here to provide you. We will take you also to the Bono region, the Bono East region, the areas in Sunyain, Techimai, Kintampo, etc., where we have also deployed reporters to get to know what really is happening with the national disinfection exercise. It's a 10 of the region, and so we'll bring you up to speed with all this. Look, it's a great conversation. Great education, all of us want to know. We'll speak to anonymously some health professionals to get to know. The team, that's the government team announcing that they will provide the PPEs, they will provide the PPEs, etc. Have all these institutions been given all these facilities? If they're working, in what situation do they work? We want to have some conversation with those in the front line of health. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the news. This.